beautiful people, welcome back to my garden. My name is Holly and I post videos on how you can grow your own food naturally and sustainably. Today I am going to do another garden tour. I did one kind of recently, like maybe a month ago, and so much has grown since then. So I want to give you an update on what's growing in the garden, what I'm actually eating from the garden, and a few other things that I've been planting, some maintenance, and yeah, we'll see what else we can find. Okay, well, let's go take a look. I swear every time I get out my camera to try and film, there is lots of construction noises in the background, so I'm sorry about that. That is a neighbour somewhere, and I am in an urban environment, so we do get lots of urban noises. Okay, so we're out the front in my front garden. This is my driveway patch, and at the moment I've got heaps of like brassicas, cabbages, cauliflower, broccoli, and some greens. There's also a few things left over from summer that are still holding on and producing, so I'm letting them continue to grow. It's a little marigold. So when these were really young, I didn't check them for a little while and they got hammered with the green caterpillars, but I've got it under control now. So some of the older leaves look a bit damaged, but they'll be fine. So I have some bigger cabbages here, and I've just planted some brand new baby seedlings so that I have some succession planting. Look at this beautiful pink. Still some mini eggplants. Got some rainbow chard, and I'm starting to eat the outer leaves on these. Just get 1 or 2 off each plant for dinner, and it makes heaps. It's a pretty pink one. One's like an orange. Got a little cauliflower down here. Got cauliflower, basil left over from summer, which is still doing really well. There's the eggplant, another tomato. Got cabbage, another beautiful pink chard, some poppies, another little chard down there, some cabbage. It's all looking pretty good, pretty lush. Beautiful pink rainbow chard. This is why I love growing rainbow chard, because it just adds so much colour to the garden. And heaps of greens and food. They are a must grow, I think, for any garden. Tomato plant's been here since summer and it's been producing, and it's still putting out some little tomatoes, so I'm just leaving it until it stops producing and then I'll pull it out. But at the moment I don't really need the space and it's doing well. Beautiful zinnias in amongst the brassicas. Yellow rainbow chard. So I don't think a lot has changed in my back garden, but the feijoas have stopped fruiting and putting out heaps of new growth. So this would be a time that you'd want to prune your feijoa trees just after they have fruited. But I don't think I'm going to prune mine this year because I kind of want them to fill up more of the gaps, so I'm going to let them do their thing, especially this one. I want this one to take up more space. Sweet potatoes still looking pretty lush. When the leaves start to die off, it's a good time to start harvesting it. Sweet potato doesn't really like cool weather, so you need to harvest it before it frosts, but because we have such mild winters here, I can sort of have sweet potato all year round. Also found that the purple sweet potato is a lot more cold tolerant than the other ones. I've got the purple with the purple inside here, and yeah, I'm finding that is definitely better at lasting over winter than the orange sweet potato. Got a few flowers on my pawpaw. Calendula starting to come to life. A lot of these are just self-seeded in my back garden because I let everything go to seed. Got poppies, snapdragons, another comfrey that I have transplanted because I'm going to try and grow heaps more comfrey in this spot so that I can have lots of fertilizer for my fruit trees. I have some of the winter bulbs starting to pop up. I've got daffodils and jonquils scattered through the garden. Okay, so in my pallet planters, this one I have got some chilies which I've started to overwinter, which means I am chopping them back about 50%, and that way that I can keep them for next season. Instead of it just being an annual summer plant, I can keep them nice and warm, and then they'll be ready to go for next summer. So if you live somewhere where it's really cold, you may need to pop them up and keep them somewhere warm like a greenhouse inside or in a patio. But here our winters are pretty mild, and I find I have success being able to overwinter my chilies just here in the pallet planters. This one I've already done for one season, so this summer it was able to just take off and grow heaps of chilies because it already had an established root system. So I'm going to finish chopping these back and keep them ready for next summer. So when the weather starts to cool down, the chili will lose lots of its leaves and it will just stop producing because it's too cold for it to function. And by chopping it back, I'm going to cut it probably 50% or more. It spends less energy on these branches here that are doing nothing, and it can save all its energy so that it can keep alive over winter and then it can regrow again in spring. So I've done one, you can see this one here, I've chopped this one back and I still have to chop this one here back. So the pallet planters are starting to fill up. They've got heaps of greens in here, lots of the stuff that I just pick and go every night for dinner. So I've got my rainbow chard, lots of lettuces, as well as a few broccolis and herbs and other things that I just use every night. It's so close to my kitchen, I can just pop out and grab something for dinner about 5 minutes before it's going to go on the plate. So it is super fresh and convenient. This is my banana capsicum that I have overwintering, which I've chopped right back. Got some beautiful snapdragons, some poppies, some garlic. Look at the colour on this, it's stunning. Radishes in the gaps, lots of beautiful lettuce, which is weird shape because I've been picking it every night. And this one here as well, I just come out and pick a few leaves every night. This one is still full of lots of basil from summer, which I'm just, continuing to keep and use, and the bees are loving it as well. Got some more lettuce, rainbow chard. As you can see, I have so much greens. Got the eggplants still producing eggplants, as well as heaps of flowers and baby eggplants. Down here I've got lots of radishes in between, more lettuce, spring onion that I grew from scraps, because you can just plant the end of your spring onion. So in this one I've got hollyhock, which is just taking up way too much real estate. It may have to go soon, but it does have really pretty flowers. Different type of basil. Got these beautiful snapdragons. There's a little pink rainbow chard getting outshaded. I might just pick off some of these hollyhock leaves so that it gets a bit more light. That is better. Got other little seeds, some Malabar spinach which I just planted, which will climb up the trellis. More greens, more rainbow chard. There's parsley under there. This one is full of like cauliflower and broccoli, and look at all these seeds popping up. They're everywhere in this pallet planter. So I thought those little seeds were parsley, but I tried one of the leaves and it definitely tastes like celery. And I remembered I had a massive celery plant in here and I waited for it to go to seed and collected the seeds, but obviously a lot of the seeds remained in the soil and they are just popping up and growing by themselves. So that's awesome. That's another reason why I love letting things go to seed, is that you just get free plants that grow whenever they want and you have put in zero effort. Lots of beautiful lettuce, So I'm pretty much eating lettuce and rainbow chard every day at the moment. Another thing that I do here with these pallet planters is because there's not a lot of space and things get shaded out, I just pop down and take off some of the bottom leaves. That lets more light in, and a lot of them are damaged from bugs anyway, so I just remove these so the plant isn't putting lots of energy into old scummy leaves. And that way everything gets enough light, especially in such small spaces. So this thing here is my worm tower. And I've been noticing quite a few worms are actually in here. Look, there's Guy. So it's working. I haven't been adding any more stuff because I'm going to move this to a new spot, so I'm letting it just break down. Oh, I forgot to put that base back in there. This lid just secures it so no rodents can get in, or flies or things like that. I planted a few little fennel seeds in here. Beautiful parsley. I'm using this in so many meals at the moment. Look at that. So beautiful and healthy. This is the other chili plant that I've overwintered. So that is just a quick video from my garden, what I've got growing and what I'm eating at the moment, which as you can see is a lot of lettuce, a lot of greens. We've got the rainbow chard, lettuce, parsley, and I also have sweet potato. I have heaps of sweet potato still, as well as all the sweet potato greens, lemons, basil, herbs, and I've got heaps of preserved herbs that I've dried from summer. But yeah, obviously the basil is still going off. I'd love to know what you're growing in your garden, and whether you are in winter like me or if you are on the other side of the world and you have beautiful summer gardens with lots of tomatoes. Leave me a comment below and I will see you all next week.